Hey y'all, what's up, my beautiful peeps? It's been a while since your girl has done um, the artist diaries. So I finally got everything together. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Gifted Since 92, giving you guys the latest and exclusive content for new music, entertainment news, and inspirational quotes by me. The Queen is back. So let's get it popping. So it's long overdue. I love this woman dearly with all my heart, my soul. Brandy. Now, I'm going to give you guys everything about Brandy, and she deserves her flowers, period. There will never be another Brandy. So sit back, enjoy, relax this mini documentary series of the Artist Diaries. So I'll let you guys know which episode it is. If you guys haven't watched my previous The Artist Diaries, please check out Gifted Since 92, The Artist Diaries, and you'll see it. So, when I think of Brandy, I think of a light, a shining light, that Brandy's music career has really propelled itself to amazing heights. Brandy Rihanna Norwood, the Vocal Bible, was born on February the 11th, 1979 in Macomb, Mississippi. Now, this is no shade, because regardless of where musicians come from, their background, who would have thought someone like Brandy coming from Macomb, Mississippi, in the country would have really reached the superstardom that she did. Now, she has been into music ever since she was a young child, going to church. And the thing is about Brandy that people loved about her was her talent, her work ethic, her personality. What really stood out the most, we guys know, the Vocal Bible, her singing. And Brandy's vocals overall, hands down, Brandy is one of the best vocalists of all time, period. And it's not just saying just throwing it out there, she's like a singer, no, she can sing. Okay? The reason why Brandy's music and her voice stood out is because Brandy's vocals, they fill with so much harmony, so much soulfulness, sultry, raspy. Her tone is unique. And as she was growing up singing in church, she was always singing. I noticed her father, I watched a documentary, I believe it was Brandy Behind the Music. Behind the Music came out on VH1. Go check it out, go stream it. Brandy's father, Willie Norwood, and Sonya Norwood, I gotta give Sonya Norwood her credit. Sonya Norwood and Willie Norwood, they noticed how Brandy's singing. Her singing ability to really just hit her notes with so much power and so much it gives you goosebumps. So with that being said, this Mississippi girl, this Mississippi black girl, she was going to make it big in music. And what I loved about Brandy is that she was just a breath of fresh air in music, and still is today. And also, Brandy's music career, it started to soar when she got opportunities behind the scenes, getting record deals. She also was in between, her acting and singing at the same time, and also working with her, musicianship, her artistry, right? And then Brandy became pretty much a force to be reckoned with. Now, if we look at mainstream from the 1990s, Brandy pretty much was one of the it girls, along with her peers. Brandy alone stood on her own 2 feet. What really stood out about Brandy is that her image as a young black girl in music, it was done right. It was done tastefully. Brandy was like, what, 14, 15 when she came out with her debut album, Brandy self-titled album. We know all the hits. Baby, Baby. That was her first official single. Best Friend, I Wanna Be Down. Yes. So I grew up listening to Brandy ever since I was a child. And so her image as a black girl in music, she had the braids, the hairstyle, very feminine. And also, young black girls, they really saw someone of their skin color, their skin complexion that looked just like them. Literally the color of their skin. Brandy is like a brown skin, dark skin black woman of color. And as I always talk about colorism too, because I do talk about colorism on my channel, but Brandy pretty much broke down barriers because the music industry is cutthroat. But during that time, it was still cutthroat because she was working hard. She was taking herself seriously. She knew that she could become the next Brandy. Even behind the scenes, there were obstacles that she faced, of course, where she thought she felt insecure. There were times where she doubted herself, where people put her down, they tore her down, say, oh, well, she's not pretty enough to be accepted in music and film. There was a situation, I watched a documentary, and she went to school at this performing arts school, and this teacher saw her talent, and she was acting. I know she took some acting classes, and this teacher one day said, oh, you're talented, but your image isn't pretty enough. So with that being said, that negative comment really pushed Brandy to be like, you know what, regardless, I'm beautiful in my own skin. Just because I don't look like everyone else, just because I don't look like the standard, that doesn't make me less talented. It doesn't dim my light. I'm still going to be Brandy Rayana Norwood. And so during the time where it was like more black musicians in music was getting, more black musicians pretty much really redefined the sound of R&B, hip hop, and soul music. Brandy's sound of music had a combination of R&B, hip hop, pop, nostalgia, and soul music. So she was able to cross over at a young age of 14, 15 years old, and really connect with her fans. And it wasn't just because she just wanted fame. No, her music just is stuck. It stuck like glue in a great way. It stuck like jelly in a great way, because the producers that she worked with, I know a producer named, I know of Rodney Darkchild Jerkins. He worked with Brandy throughout pretty much most of her entire music career. Her debut album, the Never Say Never album, the Full Moon album, so we know. So, like I said, Brandy, she was on a roll. She was on a roll. And then we know the Never Say Never era. That's pretty much one of her, I would say, groundbreaking sophomore albums, because Brandy, not only was she pushing her sound sonically, but musically she was more mature. She was, the songs matched well with what she was talking about, her experiences. And at the same time, the producer, such as Rodney Darkchild Jerkins, he really had a really great enigma of the production and the layering. So other producers as well, I give them credit where it's due. But I always remember listening to Rodney Darkchild, B Rocka, all of that. Then let's get to where things got really, really interesting. Things got a lot of excitement, spontaneous, and we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, do we? But it made music become greater. It made the soul and the art of music become so great, to the point where it was like, wow, here we have talented black female musicians coming to the music industry and really breaking barriers. Now, Monica, I always have loved Monica. Now, as I was a little girl, I wasn't a huge Monica fan, but now I have grown to love Monica. I give Monica her flowers as well. We guys, we know the iconic hit single, "The Boy Is Mine." Now, I'm aware, Brandy fans, Monica fans, it's all good. So we know how it goes. But both talented, beautiful black queens were able to really collaborate and come together. And at a time where it was like black female musicians were pretty much getting their voices heard. But to have a song, "The Boy Is Mine," and be like, oh, Brandy. Okay, we got Brandy. And then we got Monica. And Monica, she was another rising, talented, young female black musician, and still is. She was coming to the game. She was coming to her own. And guys, like, at first, there was some speculation. I would say there was allegedly Brandy and Monica had beef. Now, of course, we all know controversy is going to sell. But you know what? Fans was like, oh, Brandy and Monica, they're fighting over a dude. Then when we heard "The Boy Is Mine," the visuals, everything about that song, I remember I was listening to that song and then I would be watching the videos. I would watch it on 106 in Park, BET, when BET actually was worth the damn watching, was worth the damn supporting, but now I don't know why. But Brandy and Monica, they made that song their thing. They made that song epicness, period. That song is so relatable. You know how girls will fight over a guy that they like? It happens. It happens. So what I love about the production to "The Boy Is Mine" is like, it has like that really dark, moody, like the production has like that R&B, hip hop, pop flavor to it, and that nostalgia. And it gave me like that opera, bouncy kind of feel. Because when you listen to a song like "The Boy Is Mine," it's something unique. It just catches your attention. That song, how the arrangement and how the vocal arrangements of Brandy's vocals and Monica's vocals were able to really mesh very well together. And what I always enjoyed about "The Boy Is Mine," that song is likable. You can sing it. Even if you're not really a freaking singer or you don't know how to sing. When that song come on, you can't help but sing "The Boy Is Mine." You can't. It's pretty much the lyrics, everything. And I'm so happy that Brandy and Monica, they really were able to, collaborate, get together, and push aside their differences, for the sake of music. But it was beautiful. And I felt like it was genuine. Even though they, it happens. They may have not liked each other at first. But I feel like the opportunity for both women of color who are black to really get together and create something special with so much magic and the epitome of like, wow, this is authentic music. So both talented queens are like everything in my book. And because of that, Brandy, she got a Grammy for "The Boy Is Mine." She got a Grammy. Monica got a Grammy too, so both of them, I would say they both got a Grammy. And Brandy is like, for her to like really see her dreams come to fruition, despite what the naysayers have said about her, Brandy, pretty much, she was on her way. She had it. Period. So that was beautiful to see and know. And then, to see Monica and Brandy, both of them. Like, that song is both of their success. And I know fans from Brandy fans and Monica fans, they're gonna have different opinions. I'm cool with it. Alright, I love both women, and I understand if fans like Brandy more or Monica more, it's fine, but that collaboration would be my top number one. The Boy Is Mine, and this is my honest opinion, that song is a classic, it's a gem. No one, really, Brandy and Monica did that, they really, really did amazing with that song, because you can still play that song today. You can still play it and be like, oh, it still slaps. So that's amazing. And we already know the versus battle of all the battles. So Brandy and Monica, all these years later, they agreed to do the versus battle. I did a review of the versus battle, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm sorry, not sorry. They had the best versus battle hands down. Period. I feel like Brandy and Monica, they just brought back that magic again. They did. So it's really such a blessing to see both of these talented women really reunite and collaborate again. And this time, the versus battle. So the versus battle is like Brandy had played her songs. She picked out the best songs to go against Monica's songs. Monica picked out the best songs to go against Brandy's songs. See? So it was really cool. And who won the versus battle? Brandy won. So that's cool. But still, both women, it's cool. They still did their thing. They still just brought back the laughter and the enjoyable of music. And this is why I go hard, because I know on my platform I always talk about music, but it's like we need more of that. We really do. But anyway, I'm gonna move along. So in the years Brandy expanded her empire, Brandy worked on her acting career. Her first sitcom reality family show, Thea. So she played in film like Thea. And then we already know her very own show, Moesha. I grew up watching Moesha. I felt like Moesha pretty much brought like a new generation of like black culture. And what I loved about Brandy is that she was able to really connect with like young children, teens, adults. And I miss the days where it's like really authentic sitcoms, comedies, because the 90s pretty much focused on reality, what was going on, conscious, fun, good times, great times, bad times. But Moesha pretty much pushed Brandy into new opportunities, new heights into her acting career. Okay, so all the cast of Moesha, they did a fabulous job. They brought their A game. We pretty much saw the representation of quality, good representation of black characters. Dynamic characters, different personalities, characters that we could relate. Characters that really brought something refreshing, something that was like, wow, okay, cool, I can relate to that. And Moesha ran through a lot of seasons. I will always watch Moesha after school. I remember this channel called UPN. Moesha would be playing nonstop. So when I would watch, Moesha, I was like, all right, cool. So the success of Moesha really made everything in Brandy's music career be more like a global thing. And I feel like listening to, even like Brandy throughout the years, how she said, there were times behind the scenes, she had to balance her music career and her acting acting career, and it did take a tumble at times. It was challenging, but she was able to really push through and balance everything out. So Moesha will always be the classic sitcoms, period, hands down. And then, of course, Brandy. I gotta talk about this. Because I have this classic. So guys, we know of Cinderella. So I had that movie in my movie collection. So Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, Whitney Houston and Brandy, they got together and did their own version of Cinderella. And this is pretty much a huge accomplishment for both Whitney Houston and Cinderella, because Brandy, for her to, play Cinderella with her idol, her friend forever, Whitney Houston, who is also was and still is another talented female black musician that broke down barriers for female musicians and artists in music. Rest in peace to the beautiful Whitney Houston. Nippy, we will always love you. And I will always watch that movie. And it's really beautiful and in awe and bittersweet, because I feel like Whitney Houston and Brandy just took Cinderella and had their own spin to it, their own flavor to it. And I love the fact that, they both really brought it. It was magical. We got to see a black fairy godmother and a black Cinderella. And so Cinderella, we all know Cinderella, the original Disney white Cinderella, which is cool. But like I said, see a black fairy godmother and a black Cinderella for black people to see, especially for young black girls and young black women to see that. It's a huge success. I don't care what nobody says, because obviously Cinderella pretty much did pave the way for the Princess and the Frog. Okay, so yeah, Cinderella did pave the way for the Princess and the Frog. So that's just how I feel. That's how I look at it. And it's like I just go back down memory lane, because I'm like, wow, Brandy and Whitney, they obviously in their era, they just brought something like, they just brought like that real talent, personality. And I know, like I said, they've been friends for throughout the years, and we all know about Whitney, how she was able to balance her music career, and like I said, and stuff that, it was just so amazing to see that both black women were able to coexist, so Brandy, she really played alongside with her idol, her queen, Whitney Houston. This is a beautiful picture. This is really dope. I love it. Hands down. Amazing. So, also, Brandy she co-starred along with another movie, another queen, Diana Ross, and Brandy, double platinum. So, that's another stellar blockbuster film. So, Brandy just pretty much like always elevated herself, always stay consistent with her music and her acting. And like I said, I know with Brandy, I know it had to be like, damn, I can't believe I did all this. I never regretted none of that. But yeah, so she's did double platinum. Still, I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's another hit film. It's a scary film. I've seen it a few times. I like scary movies to an extent. I just don't like the gory ones. I like some of it, but yeah. But Brandy, she did her thing in that. And then The Game, which that was great for her to do. That show was a popular show, hit televised show that came through on BET. So Brandy, she slayed with that. And then Chicago. Brandy also starred in Chicago, the Broadway classic film, as Roxy Hart, and she slayed and did the damn thing. So Brandy, you know, we always say Brandy's like, she's one of a kind, you know. And it's like, despite what people would say about Brandy sometimes, I know STARZ fans, we have always supported our girl, our queen. Now, I'm not shady, but I'm speaking with facts. And I don't care what nobody says, because I feel like Brandy deserves the most highest, the most praise for herself. Because she, you know, when her haters be saying stuff like, well, Brandy, because I remember, like, I would say, like, even after 1990s, after the 2000s, after, I would say, the late 2010s, after 2010, people, the general public, you know how it goes, when an artist is past their prime, she or he, they get flack, or, you know, some people, they'll say that they're irrelevant. They say that they're not going to really connect with the new generation of music lovers, or they're washed up, or they're has been. Okay, fine. I get it. But you mofos got me messed up. Period. You got me messed up. Because it's longevity, guys. It's longevity. And I know Brandy has dealt with some personal things in the public eye, you know, and like I said, you know, regardless, she pushed through with resilience, you know, and, you know, never gave up. I don't care. Brandy has sold over, what, 40 million records? 40 million records. Has a Grammy, okay? I mean, and she has really influenced and birthed a whole new crop of talented R&B and soul musicians. There have been plenty of people that have expressed their admiration for Brandy, Rihanna Norwood, the vocal Bible. Okay, they have said, you know, her sound, her innovation, the way how she was singing, all of that. So despite what haters want to say about Brandy, I don't care. People can have their opinions of Brandy. It will not hurt my feelings. But my thing is, when it comes to R&B, pop, soul musicians, I mean, Brandy's pretty much at the top of my list. She's at the top of my list. Brandy has released, 7 albums of her music career. So it takes time for artists like Brandy to come back out with new music, because with her, she's like, listen, it has to feel right. It has to sound right, you know. So whatever dusty, ignorant trolls have to say about Brandy, you know, they can be my guest, because, hey, she's still relevant, period. She is still relevant. She is still, you know, getting opportunities. She has expanded her empire at such a young age. Do you understand and realize that that's a blessing? So she has been really, literally been in the music industry for over, 20 years? I believe 20 years and more. So I really feel like Brandy, in my honest opinion, you know, she really, like I said, has really touched the hearts of her fans with her music. Her music is like therapy too, because every time I listen to like her albums, they bring so much. It has like that nostalgia. It has that pure essence of like, it just gives you like a reflection of your life. And I feel like Brandy has really set a good example of like just picking the pieces back together. You know, making sure that, you know, her desires, her wants, her goals, her destiny is fulfilled. Every time I listen to like Brandy, her self-titled album, Never Say Never, Full Moon, Aphrodisiac, Human, 211, and B7, hands down, all of her music is pretty much, her catalog is just undeniable. You know, so STARZ, let me know, what are your favorite Brandy albums? In my honest opinion, my top Brandy albums are Full Moon, Aphrodisiac, Never Say Never, and B7. Okay, my favorite Brandy songs, STARZ, let me know what are your favorite Brandy songs. I'ma just run down the list. Baby, Best Friend, I Wanna Be Down, Almost Doesn't Count, The Boy Is Mine, Sitting on Top of the World, Have You Ever, Full Moon, What About Us, Talk About Love, Who Is She to You, Put It Down, Wildest Dreams, it's that song, Departed, Right Here, that song from the Human album. Who else? B7 that just came out. I always listen to Borderline, Baby Mama, High Heels, Say Something. Yeah. So those are my favorite Brandy songs. So yeah, any of these haters want to talk about Brandy, want to discredit the vocal Bible, her greatness, let them say whatever, because she's still making huge moves. So yeah, that's on that period. And recently she's on the new television sitcom. It's called Queens. So I need to check that out. I need to check all that out. So that motherfucking show, I heard that's really good. So I'm gonna have to watch a few episodes and see how I feel about it. But yeah, but Brandy, you know, I'm sorry. I mean, we gotta give sis her flowers, because there will never be another Brandy. So to wrap this video up, all I can say is, the reason why I want to do this video and put Brandy as the new art, well, on the new episode of the Artist Diaries, is that I just wanted to just give her her flowers and her props. I feel like Brandy really, you know, she's another artist that people, some of her critics, they wanted her to be some myth, but no, because of the sound of R&B and pop and soul music alongside with her peers, she really deserves to have more accolades and more recognition. Now, she has gotten more recognition throughout the years, but here's what needs to happen. The BET Awards, I want Brandy to get the Lifetime Achievement Award as soon as possible. That needs to happen. Brandy, she needs to get it. She needs to get it. She deserves it. Okay? Because I feel like having that would be such a blessing. Also, she need to get the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She needs to get the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She's another one. She has broke barriers in music and film and television. She's done it all. She also, I would love to see her get a Madame Tussauds wax figure. She needs to get it. She needs to get her own one. And I'm just coming as a fan with out of respect and, you know, admiration for Brandy, because, you know, I'm so happy that, you know, Brandy is still living life, still doing her thing. I mean, pretty much, you know, people try to count her out, but you know what they always say, you can't keep somebody down. You really can't. And I really love the fact that Brandy, you know, she never gave up on herself, and we know about how she dealt with her personal issues on her mental health, and that's another thing that Brandy has spoke out about throughout her career as well. As she got older, things that she went through, her experiences, making changes in her life. Brandy has talked about her mental health, and there was one time where she wanted to give up on music. It's crazy, y'all, because I'm telling you, mofos want to, you know, really, you know, thought that girl was just going to be like, okay, I'm just going to stop making music, you know, I'm just going to stop doing this. No, I'm sorry, not sorry. But because with that gift that Brandy has with her music and the gift that she has really created for herself, it's going to last forever. Okay? Her music is timeless. Okay? Her sound, her singing, her vocals, her artistry is timeless. And for her to really, you know, pursue her dreams and, you know, change the game in music, hands down, there will never be another Brandy, Rihanna, nor would there will never be another the vocal Bible, because there's only one. So I want to do this, you know, at the bottom of my heart, because and I'm gonna tell you something too. Other Brandy fans have been, you know, supporting her, and shout out to all the STARZ fans. I've also have seen Brandy in concert. That was in 2016. It was one of the best concerts I've ever went to. I mean, it was a blessing to go see her. You know, I went to see her at the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland. I mean, it was amazing. You know, the STARZ had a ball. You know, so for me to actually, you know, that was my first time seeing Brandy at her concert. So she really slays, hands down. So I want you guys to know that we have to appreciate our talented black musicians, our legends and icons. Appreciate them. Give them all of their flowers. Because music right now, mainstream music, it's not the same. Brandy came from an era where you had to be talented. You had to have something that made you stand out. You had to be daring, risk-taking. You had to have substance. You had to have that natural appeal. Brandy's natural appeal, sex appeal, you know, she was naturally beautiful already. So she had it, period. She had so much of like that. Like, she was mystique. She's mystique. She had brought something like, oh, she's a mystery in a good way. So, you know, I'm wrapping this video up, and I want you guys to know that, yeah. So, like I always say, you know, Brandy, STARZ, your fans, we love you, we support you. Like you have always have said, you know, we have, you know, guided you, we have helped you, we have motivated you. You put in the work and your talent. You have did it for yourself as an artist and musician. But you have always showed love to us and appreciate our support. So, my dear, it was time for me to show you support and be on the next episode of the Artist Diaries. And like I said, yeah, STARZ, we're gonna always ride on out for you. And I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. You have really became, not just a human being, but something bigger than music. You know, your light, you know, your beauty within the inside. I mean, you really did a great job of just being yourself, you know, and just using your gift to, you know, inspire people, to uplift people, to really, you know, go all out. So guys, I'm wrapping up this new episode of the Artist Diaries. Brandy, I wish you guys, I hope that you guys liked it, the mini autobiography. STARZ, share your thoughts and your opinions. Stay tuned on the next episode of Gift Cincinnati 2. Like, share, comment, and subscribe down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. And as always, stay tuned on the next episode of Gift Cincinnati 2, Dragon Ball Z, narrator reference. Peace. Bye-bye. Your girl's exiting out. The Super Saiyan's out.